Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Okay, in this slide we are going to take an example of the classification of words according to form, function and position. Here we give you a sentence in which we have three words which are underlined. So we are, in this case we are going to do what? To classify each underlined word alone according to the three modes of a classification. I will classify fighting according to form, function, as well as position. And again, we will classify chickens according to form, function, and position. And the same will be applied to corn. That's to say, I will classify it according to these three modes of classification. Okay, so the fighting chickens will eat corn. Let's start with the word fighting. By looking at the word fighting, we are going to state the idea that this word ends in ing. So by form, according to its form, we are going to say that it is a verb by form, because remember well we said that form classes, they are four. They are nouns, verbs, adjectives and adverbs. If the word does not have any of the forms related to nouns, verbs, adjectives or adverbs, we are going to say it is an inflected word. So form classes, they are of nouns, verbs, adjectives, adverbs and an inflected word. So this now word is inflected with ing, and the ing is one of the forms that is related to verb paradigm. Remember this. Okay, so fighting is a verb by form, according to its form, according to its endings, according to its inflection. We are going to say that it is a verb by form. Okay, this is the form. What about the function? So we say the fighting chickens. So here fighting, the word fighting modifies the word chicken. It says something about chickens. So in this case it is a modifier by function. Okay, because it is a modifier by function and because it says something about chicken, so it means what? That it occurs before a noun, and this place is one of the positions that is related to adjectives. So in this case we are going to state that fighting is adjectival by position. Why is that? Because it occurs in a position which is of the adjective. We said this earlier. Where can we see an adjective? Directly before a noun. So it occurs in a position just before a noun, so that it is a modifier by function, adjectival by position. Okay, this is the word fighting. Let's move to the word chickens. What's wrong with chickens? Chickens is a noun by form. Why is that? Because we see that it ends in s. Okay, this is one. Suppose that the word does not end in s, is not inflected with s, so we will depend on something else, that is there. So there is a determiner, that's to say an article preceding a noun. So a noun by form for two reasons: for the s as a plural, this is number one, and for the determiner, the article, the definite article there. Okay, what's again? So the fighting chickens, so the whole idea is about the subject. Which subject? About a chicken. So by function it is the subject of the verb. Okay, we said this earlier that as far as nominal position is concerned, once I see it as the subject of the verb, direct object, indirect object, you remember this? Subjective complement, objective complement. These are as far as nominal position is concerned. So because it is the subject of the verb, so in this case it is the nominal by position. Why is that? Because we said in nominal position I might see subject of the verb, the direct object, indirect object, and so on and so forth. Okay, so it is again by by form it is a noun, by function it is the subject of the verb, and by position it is nominal. Okay, this is the second word, which is a second underlined word, which is chicken. Let's move again to the word corn. Right, so the fighting chickens will eat what? Will eat corn. So what here, it means what? It is what? The direct object. Okay, right, put this in your mind before we start classifying the word according to these three modes of classification. Okay, so corn is not capable of taking any of the forms related to nouns, verbs, adjectives, and adverbs, so that it is an inflected word by form. Okay, what about its function? The function here is that it's answered the question of what, so that it is the object of the verb by function. So because it is the object of the verb, so it is nominal by position. So this will help us a lot in determining the position. If it is the subject of the verb, if it is the direct object, if it is the indirect object, subjunctive complement, objective complement. So in this case, if I understand the function of the word as according to these different functions, so we are going to say that it is nominal by position. This is in relation to the way how to classify certain words according to the three modes of classification. What are they? The classification of words into form, into function, and into position. Okay, we have listed what is meant by function. We have listed what is meant by form in relation to form class words, nouns, verbs, adjective, adverbs, inflected words. And we have mentioned what is meant by position, that's to say nominal, verbal, adjectival, and adverbial. By position, and by saying nominal, I mean which position. Now in which position we see a word that is considered as a noun. That is this to say the subject of the verb, the direct object, indirect object, and etc. Okay, so this is in relation to the three modes of classification. So suppose that I'm asking you in your exam, I might give you a sentence and I put a word between two brackets, okay, to state for the same as with chickens, for example. I'm going to say the function, for example, one of the items, the function of chicken, for example, which is put in between two brackets, is that of the direct object. So correct or wrong? This is one. Or I might say it in this way, that the form, according to form, fighting, the word fighting, according to form, is and I'm going to give you certain options: an adjective, an adverb, or a verb. So you are going to select what? Verb. Why is that according to form? Because it ends in ing. Suppose that the word ends in est, so in this case we are going to say that this word by form, according to form, is what? Is an adjective. So we are going to see the questions in these two ways, either to give you the idea and then state whether it is correct or not, I mean true or false, or I'm going to say it is, for example, by function it is number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4. That's to say I give you certain option. This is the way how to classify words in a sentence according to form, function, and position. And by the way, we don't give you words and then we don't ask you to classify them if they are in isolation alone. Rather, they should be put in a in a sentence to state its function, of course, to state its position. But by form, I can see a word alone and say whether it is according to form a verb, a noun, adjective, or adverbs. Okay, so this is the way how to classify words. Thank you so much.